Welcome back to Sissy Maya. Here, we embrace true femininity. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to never miss an update.
I always knew I was different from other boys. Growing up, I was never interested in sports or playing with action figures like my peers. Instead, I found myself drawn to the bright colors and frilly clothes in the girls' section of the department store. As I got older, I quickly realized that I was a femboy, a boy who enjoys traditionally feminine things. But my love for femininity didn't stop at just clothes and accessories. I found myself drawn to the idea of being humiliated and serving others. It started innocently enough. I would make my older sister and her friends laugh by dressing up in their clothes and pretending to be a maid. But as I got older, my desires and fantasies became more intense, and I found myself craving humiliation and servitude in a very real and sexual way. I remember the first time I saw a femdom video, where a woman was dominating a man and making him her slave. There was something about the power dynamic and the act of submission that excited me in a way I couldn't explain. I was drawn to the idea of being at someone's beck and call, of being used and humiliated for their pleasure. I started exploring my fantasies online, joining forums and chat rooms where I could interact with like-minded individuals. It was liberating to have a space where I could truly be myself without fear of judgment. I also discovered the world of BDSM, and it quickly became a huge part of my life. I read everything I could about it, from the basics of safe words and consent to the more intense practices like bondage and dominance. But it wasn't until I met Mistress J that my fantasies truly came to life. I was in my mid-20s, still living with my parents, and working a dead-end job. I was shy and introverted, and the idea of approaching a woman, let alone a dominatrix, was daunting. But thanks to the anonymity of the internet, I mustered up the courage to message Mistress J and express my desires to be her submissive. To my surprise, she responded and was intrigued by my femboy desires. We chatted for a few weeks, getting to know each other before we arranged to meet in person. The anticipation and excitement were almost too much to bear. I had never met anyone who shared my fantasies, and I was nervous but also eager for what was to come. As I walked up to Mistress J's door, my heart was pounding in my chest. I took a deep breath and rang the bell. The door swung open, and there she was, tall and commanding, with a mischievous glint in her eyes. She invited me inside, and I followed her into her playroom, where my fantasies would finally become a reality. Mistress J wasted no time in taking control. She ordered me to strip down to my underwear, inspecting my body as if I were an object on display. I could feel myself getting more and more aroused as she circled me, running her fingers across my skin. Then, she demanded that I put on a pair of frilly pink panties and a matching bra, complete with a pair of stockings and high heels. I obeyed her orders without question, feeling exposed and vulnerable but also exhilarated. Mistress J snapped a few pictures of me in my lingerie, relishing in my humiliation. She then led me to a full-length mirror, making me admire myself in all my feminized glory. From that moment on, I was hooked. Mistress J introduced me to a whole new world of kink and femdom. We explored various power dynamics, from mild humiliation to more intense forms of degradation. She made me her maid, cleaning her house in nothing but a skimpy maid outfit and high heels. She made me her footstool, using me as nothing more than an object to rest her feet on. And I loved every minute of it. But the one thing that truly excited me was being humiliated in public. Mistress J would take me to fetish events and make me wear humiliating outfits in front of strangers. She would make me perform tasks, such as serving drinks or dancing on stage, all while dressed in the most embarrassing costumes. And I couldn't get enough. The thrill of being exposed and humiliated in front of so many people was unlike anything I had ever experienced. But it wasn't just the humiliation that made me love serving Mistress J. It was the connection we had, the trust and understanding between us. She taught me so much about myself and helped me embrace my true desires. With her, I felt free to be my authentic self, to explore my deepest and darkest fantasies without fear of being judged. As time went on, Mistress J and I grew closer. We became more than just dominant and submissive, we became friends. She showed me that there was strength in submission, that by being in a position of servitude, I was reclaiming my power. And I couldn't be more grateful to her for that. Being a femboy and embracing my love for humiliation has changed my life in ways I never thought possible. I am no longer shy and introverted. I have gained confidence, both in and out of the bedroom. I have met so many wonderful people who share my kinks, and I have made lifelong friends.